There was talk that it could have happened, and when it didn't happen, that was probably the worst I've ever felt.
Craig Randall II, born April 22nd, 1996. Yesterday, or a few days ago, depending on when you're seeing this, the Phoenix Suns became the first team since 2015 to lose a preseason game to a non-NBA team in the US. They were beaten by the Adelaide 36ers 134-124 in a game that wasn't even that close. Of course, we'd like to assume NBA players aren't going 100% this time of the year, and this game probably won't mean much to Suns players by the beginning of the upcoming season, but to their fans, this one has to burn, no pun intended. The Suns, of course, have been complete disappointments every year of their existence, it seems, being around since the 60s and never winning a championship. In recent letdowns, in 2021, the Suns made it to the NBA Finals after being the best team in the NBA for most of the season and took a commanding 2-0 lead against the Milwaukee Bucks. At that point, everyone crowned or was ready to crown Chris Paul for finally getting over the hump and winning a championship, one that would have elevated his position among all-time great point guards substantially. They went on to lose the next 4 games and the NBA title. The next season, the Suns had a great year again, winning 64 games and securing the best record in the NBA. In the semi-final round of the 2022 playoffs, Paul and Devin Booker chuckled at a question asked about the upcoming second-round matchup against Dallas and Luka's defense. Apparent disrespect they paid the price for, losing to the Mavericks in 7. I mention all this because every year since building a viable contending team, the Suns have been letdowns, and this loss to an NBL team on their home floor is setting up, or at least looks to set this season up to be a grave disappointment as well. Today's features scored a game-high 35 points in that game, hitting 9 threes, most weren't close to the three-point line, and each one even more disrespectful. After the game and spectacular performance by this virtually unknown hooper entering the contest, it piqued my interest to why isn't this semi-Jordan Clarkson clone not in the NBA, at least being a scoring spark off the bench for a team like, well, the Phoenix Suns? After this performance, the word yet just may have to be added to that question. It's all in his hands from here on out, where an early start on his new professional team could see an NBA team snatch him sooner than you think. We just may have witnessed every undrafted player's dream opportunity open up right before our eyes. Coming from where he came from to get here, I know exactly how he must feel when the following reasons placed his NBA hopes in jeopardy. What stunted the growth of this now potential NBA pro? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man.
Y'all ready to keep this thing moving?
Craig Randall II is from Youngstown, Ohio, and was born into a basketball family. Literally everyone played basketball. His mother was even a D1 hooper. His older brother Kyle Randall played in the G League, and the youngest of them all, Craig, was becoming a star high school player, beginning in Ohio and moving to Phoenix, Arizona after his father acquired a better job. Randall blossomed under former NBA guard and Arizona great Mike Bibby, averaging 21 points a game and 5 assists and becoming the D2 Player of the Year. He managed to secure a high-level scholarship at Memphis, putting him a close step to his dream of making the NBA, but not so fast. Stunt number 1, not ready as yet. Going into college, Craig Randall suffered his first growth stunt because he simply wasn't ready for a level the Memphis Tigers were at. That, or there's something about the Memphis program that has failed a number of guys of the last few seasons where they were high-level recruits before having a stumble as a Tiger. James Wiseman, Boogie Ellis, Imani Bates, and Craig Randall. Although Randall, you can say, was lucky to even receive an offer from Memphis as he wasn't a highly ranked prospect leaving high school, Rated 3 stars, so may have been better off served at a smaller school he could have the time and space to develop instead of sitting on the bench with the Tigers, creating the narrative that he's either not good enough or not ready yet for that level, much less being an NBA prospect. Him not being ready soon enough caused him to have to transfer to a smaller school after averaging 3.9 points a game and shooting 29% from 3 in 13 minutes a game in his 2-year Memphis run. As if matters couldn't get worse as far as how he would later be perceived in scouts and GM's eyes, he didn't exactly go off at his final school after transferring to DeQueese and not playing, then UT Martin, where he averaged a solid 16 points a game but followed that up with a lackluster senior year, averaging 12 points a game and shooting worse percentages than the year before. To them, it looks as if this player has some potential that a school like Memphis recognized early on, and he had some standout performances there as well, scoring 21 points against Savannah State as a sophomore, but definitely not ready for the NBA. Choosing a college, I always say go somewhere you can be you and have the most opportunity from day one. A place the head coach loves your game and has a specific plan on how to get the best out of you, all while preparing you for the next level. With these and hard work on your part, it's hard to lose. But with a resume like Randall's, having flamed out on a level closest to the NBA like Memphis is, then transferring twice and not dominating at a smaller school, caused him to go undrafted in the 2020 NBA draft. Stunt number 2, where does he fit? I think another reason teams were scared off from selecting Randall out of college was because they just didn't know where or how to use him. By traditional standards, was expected to have at least some point guard to him, but that, as it turns out, isn't one of Randall's strong suits. What he is an aggressive scoring guard that worked on his game enough to where if he comes into this season playing like he did against the Suns, could get that special opportunity he's been waiting for since a kid. Leaving college though, when you looked at Randall's game and resume, him being a slender, average guard height with a shoot-first mentality and limited point guard skills, you would probably have passed on him too, as this player build comes a dime a dozen. What doesn't is how much dozen in hours this dime puts in developing his game. With the help of his older brother who turned down overseas opportunities to train him, Craig got to work stripping down his entire game and starting from step number 1, trying to build habits that could transfer to the NBA. He changed his jump shot, worked on his game tirelessly, increasing his confidence, and went to 3 G League tryout camps looking for a professional deal. One that came with the Brooklyn Nets affiliate team that he began the season for, not even getting in the game for at least a minute. By season's end, he was playing 40 minutes a game and just shy of making the all-rookie team. By the end of his second G League season, he won the Most Improved Player award, yet still no call-up from the NBA. Why? Because at the time he seemed more a liability than an asset, mainly because of questions about where can he help a team. Stunt number 3, unnoticed. Usually when a player underachieves in prior situations or doesn't get enough opportunity, he can easily go unnoticed and unattractive to an NBA GM. Randall, after going undrafted, had a pretty underwhelming 2021 summer and therefore remained in the G League all season, though performing better each game. Summer League the very next year, he signed to play with the Portland Trail Blazers and averaged 7 points a game in 20 minutes. That kind of performance doesn't exactly set you apart and caused Randall to become unnoticed even further. That's until early October 2022. The game that may have just set Randall up forever. Playing 100% or not, no Suns player could guard him in that game. There's a certain pride hit you take when you lose a game like this in front of your home crowd for the first game of this season, where you just can't let a non-NBA team beat you at all. And all the Suns' key players took the floor. Randall was on a mission and scoring from everywhere, leading his team past the Suns in historic fashion. Not so bad for a kid that went unnoticed just about his entire career, to G League tryout, to most improved there, and now torching one of the best professional basketball teams in the game. All in all, Craig Randall is in a great position. Should he play as expected this year, there's no doubt he'll be in the NBA a year from now or even sooner. He's had a few growth stunts in his career, but a great example of how that's not the end of the story. If nothing comes from his on-fire performance, at least his name will go down in the record books as the guy that torched Chris Paul and Devin Booker and made history. Salute, much respect. For these reasons, his growth was stunted, but now he's making a resurgence. I wish him nothing but the best. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.